What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching 100% NUFC. So full time in the match review. It finished down at St Mary's Stadium in the Premier League. Southampton 0, Newcastle United 1, and we've won at St Mary's for the first time in 16 years. The last time that we beat Southampton was back in 2004, and it's the first time in the Premier League in a long time that we have done the double over Southampton. And I have to say, from a Newcastle fan's point of view, we should have won by more goals. 1-0 would probably flatter Southampton. The fact that they only lost the game by the odd goal, they were down to 10 men. There was a couple of VAR decisions, and I thought both of them were completely spot on. And if it wasn't for a lot of wasted chances in the first half especially, we could have won by at least 3 or 4 goals to 0. But you know what? Who cares? Southampton is a long way to go, and to get any 3 points on the road is always good if you're in Newcastle's position and you want to stay in the Premier League and you want to look away from the relegation zone. And one thing I will say, big up to Steve Bruce, because he's been a bit more positive in the last couple of games and he's changed the formation to an attacking 4-4-2. And I said against Burnley, he played the 4-4-2. We had a lot more of the ball, but we didn't stick the ball in the back of the net, and we certainly didn't work the goalkeeper enough. But I tell you what, against Southampton, we did take our chance, and we did have a lot more of the chances on the goal. And yes, okay, Southampton were down to 10 men, but we looked a lot more positive on the ball, and we looked a bit more about ourselves, and we actually looked a lot more of a threat, given that Southampton is a tough place to go, and when you work the goalkeeper and you create problems, 9 times out of 10 you're going to put them under pressure and you're finally going to get a goal. And in this game, for me, even though it was a frustrating first half because we had chances, it was all about second half being patient and knowing that because they're down to 10 men, yes, you would say Southampton have got a slight advantage because when you're down to 10 men, they need to think a lot more and they'll be a bit more ruthless at the back, they'll defend. But just to know that because we've got the man advantage, if we stick in the game and be positive, we could get a late winner. And that's exactly what's happened when Alan St-Maximin got the very late winner in the 79th minute. And let's be fair, it was a good finish. And the Southampton centre-back, Valerie, made a basic mistake, which you shouldn't make in the Premier League when you're clearing your lines. You should never, take two touches of the ball. Do beg your pardon, I am a little bit unwell. And you should clear your lines there. But he hasn't, and it's worked in our favour. And yeah, that's their fault in our game, and we go 1-0 up, and we see out the game and we win the game 1-0 down at St Mary's Stadium. So let's just jump straight into the review. So this is the side that Steve Bruce went with against Southampton this afternoon, and it's quite a decent side. Joe Linton was dropped. I think it's a positive given that he's not really been performing the last couple of games in the Premier League. He was decent against West Brom, I'll give him that. He did set up Almiron for one of the goals with a back heel, but in this game, it was important that we started on the front foot and we went from it from minute one. And with the likes of Dwight Gale starting, Shelby was in the side, Richie was there, and the side which Steve Bruce went with, I thought was quite positive. And with the 4-4-2 formation, I was quite positive that if we stick to our game plan and actually do what we're expected to do with the ball, with that possession and with that formation, then we've got a chance. Against a very sluggish sort of Southampton side at home where they're not really, that positive. So, let's just jump straight into it. So, the first 5 minutes, I thought Southampton were the better side. I would say they went and started the better, as you would expect, them being the home side. And, they managed to win a free kick when Danny Rose took down the Southampton player, and they won a free kick, and then that led to a couple of corners. And then Djenepo had a chance as well from a corner, which he put wide. That went to another corner, but then we managed to clear our lines. And then we started to open up a bit more. And in the 7th minute, we had a big chance to take the lead through Dwight Gale and Almiron combined. So Southampton lose the ball, and John Joe Shelby picks it up on the right-hand side. He then runs towards the corner flag. He crosses it in, and he finds Almiron and Dwight Gale unmarked in the box. So Dwight Gale, to beg your pardon, trying to get your notes here. Dwight Gale, he takes a shot first time. Good save by McCarthy, close range, and it's a fantastic save. but then it rebounds to Almiron. He gets a touch on it. He hits it first time. Another good save by McCarthy. He gets another rebounded shot, and then keeper manages to get another save onto it, another glove, and he manages to get that onto the side netting. But that's 3 chances there where we could have actually taken the lead, but very, very unlucky. But then I thought the game up until the 27th minute was quite equal. I thought Southampton had chances, we had chances, but nothing really to threaten the goalkeepers. But then on the 27th minute, Southampton went down to 10 men when Djenepo received a red card for a challenge on Isaac Hayden, which for me was a very, very naughty challenge when he was nowhere near winning that ball. And at first, Graham Scott, the referee, gave a yellow card, but then because we've got VAR, he went across to have a look on the screen, and fair play to him, he checked it, and for me, he seen it as a red card. He then took away the yellow card for Djenepo and gave him a straight red. And of course, he's been going through a few problems, with his family. I think he lost his mother, so we fought with him as well. But in the Premier League game, that is a foul, and a correct decision. So Southampton are down to 10 men, advantage us, and then we managed to really take the game to Southampton. We're starting to grow in a bit more confidence, and Southampton just starting to sit back. John Shelby's getting a lot more joy on the right hand side, and when he picks up the ball again, he whips it across to Dwight Gale, who for me has a free header, and McCarthy is equal to it. For me, should Dwight Gale do better? I think he should. He should potentially put that either left or right, and he probably scores. But another big chance wasted by Newcastle ourselves. And then on the 33rd minute, we're getting more chances again. ASM wins the ball on the left hand side. He then feeds it across to Dwight Gale, who then puts it wide of the left-hand post. For me, he should get that on target, and Southampton get away with one. And Newcastle were starting to dominate. We should be putting these chances in. As I'm watching, I'm more and more frustrated because Southampton would know that they're poor at home. But when they start to sit back and they're down to 10 men, you've got to take the game to them, and they couldn't deal with us. And we then won a free kick. That free kick was put into the box, and Jamal Lascelles got his head onto it, but that was deemed to be offside. Very frustrating. You should be in line with your man, but then again it was checked, and Southampton get away with one. But then on the 41st minute, we do then win a penalty from a set piece. So just as Buffal's trying to clear the ball away, the ball comes off his arm as the ball comes in, and Alan St-Maximin wins the ball, but it goes to VAR. It takes a couple of minutes for the referee to check it over, and the check is complete. We win a penalty, and Matt Ritchie steps up and he goes for the bottom right hand corner, but unfortunately Alex McCarthy is equal to it, and unfortunately we're still drawn 0-0. I'm very, very frustrated because we've had so many chances and we've blown it. And don't get us wrong, it's a good save by the keeper, I'll give him that, but it's a lottery from the spot, and unfortunately it's gone in Southampton's favour there. And half time, it's 0-0, and I have to say I was very, 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 very angry, very frustrated, because where we are in the league, and we haven't won since the 18th of January, and we haven't scored since February. We should easily have been 2-0 up. Dwight Gale's missed a sitter, Almiron's missed a sitter. Well, Dwight Gale's missed at least 2 or 3 in that first half, and alone, if I'm not wrong, we could have been, if not even more than 2-0 up, and obviously we missed the penalty, and I'm thinking to myself, second half, is it going to go against us? But lucky for us, the luck was with us, and we managed to go into the second half and get what we deserved. So going into the second half, obviously, there wasn't really too much going on. I think Southampton grew in a bit of confidence, but that confidence was only there for so long. In the 58th minute, Dubravka went down with an injury as he clashed with Danny Ings, as Danny Ings was going on goal, but good for Dubravka. He managed to get up, and he continued the rest of the game. Obviously, Danny Ings wasn't happy with it, but at the end of the day, Dubravka, when he goes down, if a keeper goes down and he's hurt, he's got to be seen to. And obviously, probably not happy the fact that it's 0-0 at the time, and they're obviously trying to look for a goal. So we then obviously pick up the loose pieces. We then go up the other end of the pitch, and we win a corner. And from that corner, we do put the ball in the back of the net, but Højsberg, I think that's his name, was fouled inside the box, and the goal was not given. And not to mention before, the second disallowed goal for the TOON, Steve Bruce made his first change, and Matt Ritchie come off for Joe Linton. Personally, if it was me, I would have actually taken off Dwight Gale for Joe Linton and kept Matt Ritchie on, but then again, it doesn't really matter now because we've won the game. And then he made another substitution. Manquillo come off for Lazaro, so Steve Bruce is going for it. He's rolling the dice. He wants the lads to push up more the field, and with them being down to 10 men, we've got to try and break down what would have been at that point a stubborn Southampton defence still at 0-0. And he then obviously makes his final substitution, Steve Bruce, and Hayden comes off for Sean Longstaff. And just as we make that substitution, Southampton make a massive mistake as Valery, he has the ball and he takes a couple of touches. He tries to clear his lines, and Alan St-Maximin, one of the best players at the club, he's pacey as anything. He wins the ball, he nips it off him, and he coolly slots it past the goalkeeper into the bottom right-hand corner. It comes off the right-hand post. I'm like, get in there. What a goal. What a good run by St-Maximin. He used his brain at that one moment where Southampton had a bit of a horror show, and we've managed to nip in and get what would have been at the time a very, very good goal and a very, very worthy, 3 points. But, Southampton, they were obviously going to come at us and create some chances. We had some decent chances as well, but, I think Southampton weren't really up to much, and I think we were well worthy in the end of our 1-0 scoreline. So, yeah, Alan St-Maximin with the winner, and we win the game 1-0 down at St Mary's Stadium for the first time in over 16 years, and that's now the double over Southampton. If you look at the Premier League table, we're now currently sat in 13th place. We've now jumped above Southampton, who are still on 34. We are now on 35. And yeah, things are looking really good now, with that 3 points. I would have taken a draw, don't get us wrong, before the kick-off, but given the scenario of when Southampton went down to 10 men and with those chances in the first half, I would have been frustrated. Had we lost that game, or even if we'd drawn that game, I would have been very disappointed, because for me, it would have been points dropped, and we're well worthy of the 3 points down at St Mary's. And Southampton fans can have no complaints for what they're seeing, and you can tell that they've got poor home form. They look very nervous from the off, and we managed to really show positivity, especially with that formation, and you can't go wrong with the way we played and the attitude the lads showed, especially away from home. And we've made up for the last couple of home bad performances and the last couple of away defeats as well. And I think, like I say, a very, very good 3 points down at St Mary's. The fans who have travelled down there, they've had a long journey as well, and they've got something to shout about on the way back. And of course, it's a long, long way to Southampton, 700 plus miles, and for us to go down there and get 3 points for the first time in so many years. Records are there to be broken, and with a formation change, I think Steve Bruce deserves a lot of credit. And like I say, I've criticised him for at least 75% of this season, but when things go right, he deserves praise, and when the lads are playing well, they deserve praise. And it's a good all-round solid defensive and a tactful minded performance. Trying to get me words out because I'm not very well. And I'm happy. We'll move on now to the next few games, and we're still a couple of wins away from potentially keeping our Premier League status alive for next season. Things aren't done just yet, but the table does look a lot more rosier now, with us on 35 points, and we're still now, I think Bournemouth are on 27 points, I do believe, so we're 8 points clear of the relegation zone, and we've got some really good fixtures coming up, of course, with Sheffield United coming to St James's Park. We've got Aston Villa coming up. I think that game's now being postponed due to the FA Cup. We can now go into the FA Cup game, with some confidence and with a bit of breathing space between ourselves and the relegation zone. So yeah, this weekend I'm a happy TOON fan, and like I say, who was your man of the match for me? It had to be ASM. I thought he was fantastic. Probably Shelby was decent as well, on the day as well, with a couple of decent balls into the box, which for me probably should have been put in the back of the net. We should have won by more. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on the lads, but there was chances there in the first half and we didn't take them. So yeah, all in all, absolutely buzzing with that 3 points down in Southampton. And we can now move on to the Sheffield United game next weekend with some sort of confidence as well. So yeah, 3 points down at St Mary's. Please, if you enjoy the content, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video from myself. Put your comments down below and let me know, again, what you thought about the match and who your man of the match was. What do you think of the starting 11 as well, and what do you make of the formation as well in which we went about the game? So, yes, thank you so much for watching. Follow me on social media, 100% NUFC, and I'll see you all in the next one. How are the lads?